5 months ago, I set out to earn dividends from the stock market every single day. In this video, I'm going to break down all the ups and downs that have happened with my dividend portfolio so far, because there have been some wild swings in both directions. I'm going to be looking at how many dividends I received, how much they were worth, was I able to get them every day, how much my portfolio is up or down overall, and whether the dividend portfolio has beaten my regular investment portfolio. So I uploaded a previous update about this experiment after 30 days, and we're now 5 months or 150 days in, so 5 times the previous length. We now have a much better idea of the viability of this thing, whether it's working, not working, or if it's something that's worthwhile or not. Let's start with a very quick recap of where things were left off, because if you didn't see the first video, or if you watched a long time ago, you might have no idea where things ended up. The truth is, things started very slowly. In the first 30 days, we only received 8 dividends. Now this is easily explained. This is because of the ex-dividend date, and it's completely normal that in the first 30 days of using this portfolio, you will not receive many dividends. Dividends should kick in more during the 30 to 60 day mark, and obviously we're now 150 days in, so we should be fully up to speed, there or thereabouts, with the number of dividends we're getting. So in the first video, after 30 days of this experiment, our portfolio had increased in value by around 2.5%, which is obviously the benefit of buying stocks versus just generating interest in a bank account or something like that, because we can get dividends that will effectively pay us interest, and the value of our assets can increase as well. Obviously, they can also go down. It's at this point that I think it's worth explaining again that I'm a global index fund investor, and this highly diversified approach is generally what we preach at Financial Interest. The majority of my investments are held in highly diversified global index funds. If you don't know what they are, we have a free beginner course that's linked in the description below. There's no upsells, we don't sell anything, so check that out if you want to learn about them. I'm mentioning those so you know what we're really comparing this dividend portfolio to. The daily dividend experiment isn't something that I'm investing in because I think it's the best use of my money. It's something I'm investing in because I'm interested by it, and I'm interested by the fact that other people are interested in it. If you wanted to try this out for yourself, by the way, I'm doing this using the pie on Trading 212 called the Almost Daily Dividends pie. You can also get free fractional shares worth up to £100 if you sign up to Trading 212 using the affiliate link in the description, or use the promo code FIN after signing up. Please remember, your capital is always at risk when investing. So we're now 5 months in. How are we getting on? Let's start by looking at the performance of the companies within the pie. How much have we profited or lost on our individual shares so far? We own shares in 50 different companies after all. Now we know that prices have shifted around quite significantly because the pie is currently unbalanced. It has a balance score of 8.9 out of 10. This is because I initially set the pie up with a 2% allocation to each of the 50 companies, which is the default when you set the pie up. Now that prices have changed over time, those allocations get jumbled up all over the place. As companies go up in price, they take up more of your portfolio. If they go down in price, they take up less of your portfolio than you initially accounted for. Dividends do not impact this. There are 2 things to note on this. I don't want to rebalance that often. Generally, I don't think rebalancing all the time is a great idea, not least because you incur very small fees within the spread and potentially within FX fees as well. And the creator of this pie, the dividend experiment, they recommend that if they had to put a specific number on it, they say that they would rebalance around a score of 6.5 or maybe once a year. So I don't think I need to rebalance, but I am going to make some big changes to the pie at the end of this video. So far, we have a few really big winners. Cisco Systems, who are up over 64% at the time of recording, which is an amazing return in 5 months. It looks like most of that growth has happened very recently. Nucor, who are up around 35%. Toronto Dominion Bank, around 29%. Bank of Montreal, up over 28%. Citigroup, up over 26%. And some of the big name companies that are up significant amounts as well. You've got Apple in there, Coca-Cola, who now outperform Pepsi. Pepsi also outperformed Coca-Cola, which should be a shock to absolutely no one with properly working taste buds. I have nothing to say about that. McDonald's is down, Microsoft is down, one of the so-called Magnificent Seven, and at the very bottom of the list, we've got Pentair, who are down around 30% in 5 months. Overall, we have 20 companies in the portfolio that are down and 30 companies that are in profit. That means 60% of our investments are up. But look at this wild swing. At the end of the first video, we were up around 2.5% on the value of our stocks. Just 1 month later, we were down 3.5%, so a swing of around 6% in a month. And it threatened to make this update pretty awkward. Fortunately, everything seemed to settle down with the whole Iran thing, and overall our portfolio recovered to be up just under 4%, that's £40, on top of the £1,000 that I put in at the start. Importantly, that does not include the dividends, which we'll get to in just a moment. Now, with the dividends, a few people commented and said that if I was to reinvest the dividends, the growth of the portfolio would be more likely to accelerate. I'd also be more likely to receive bigger dividends as well. But I've chosen not to do that for a couple of reasons. Firstly, all of the other funds, the index funds that I invest into, are accumulating funds. That means dividends are automatically reinvested. So reinvesting dividends is an idea that I completely believe in, and it's generally how I invest. So I agree with everyone that commented that. The reason that I'm not reinvesting my daily dividends is because a lot of people, especially those that are super into dividend investing, do it because they want to draw an income from the dividends. I want to treat this as if I'm taking the income out, like they would be. So even though I'm leaving it in the account and I can see exactly how much I've earned, I want to pretend it's an income I've spent on my day-to-day life, so we can judge the viability of a dividend portfolio as an income source. We'll be able to see how much you would need invested to actually draw a meaningful amount from your account. And whilst I put £1,000 into this portfolio at the start, we can work out what the dividends are worth as a percentage of that amount, and then we can say that if you had £100,000 invested, you would get 100 times this amount. £1 million, you do the maths. So how many dividends did I receive in the 5 months to date so far? Well, I received my first one on the 30th of January, and in total, I've received 93 dividends, which works out to an average of roughly one every 1.6 days. Take out weekends, and it's actually pretty close to every day on average. However, sometimes I go many days without receiving one, and then I get a day where I receive multiple. Now, to address another common complaint from the last video, you have 50 companies in your pie, you'd need 365 companies to get daily dividends. That isn't true. Firstly, you can never get a dividend on a weekend, so only weekdays count. And secondly, companies can pay multiple dividends per year, so whilst it's likely you need more than 50, you need far less than 365. If there were 260 weekdays in a year and each company paid a quarterly dividend, you'd need a minimum of just 65 companies to receive one every single day, theoretically, of course. But now we get to the big one. How much did I actually earn from my dividends? In month 1, we only earned 70p, so if we continued over 5 months, we'd expect to have just £3.50. However, things drastically increased, as we expected, based on what we spoke about earlier in this video with the ex-dividend date thing. Overall, I've received £9.20 from my dividends, which is a 0.92% return on my £1,000 starting investment, a 0.92% yield. Kind of. I say kind of because we're only 5 months in, and your yield would be worked out on an annual basis, so it's actually more like a 2.2% yield, which admittedly isn't the biggest return in the world. It wouldn't beat inflation, and it wouldn't beat many cash savings accounts. But combined with the rest of the portfolio's growth, which is currently up £40, plus the £9.20 received in dividends, taking us to a mostly unrealised profit of £49.20, that gives us a return of around 4.9% so far, which is around an 11.8% annual return, there or thereabouts. Obviously, there are no guarantees of future returns with investing. My biggest dividends were 22p. Yeah, 22p. And I actually only received 3 dividends that were 20p or greater. The average dividend I received was 9.9p. So the dividend portfolio is interesting and it's in profit, but is it still beating my main trading 2-on-2 portfolio? Well, the dividend portfolio is up 4.9% so far, and my main portfolio is now up 5.5%. That means, as I kind of expected at the start of the challenge, despite it being quite close, my main portfolio is now slightly outperforming the daily dividends portfolio. I would expect that to happen long term, but it offers different things, right? I'm building for really, really long-term wealth in that portfolio. I don't expect to touch the money for 20, 30, maybe 40 years. With the daily dividends, we're looking to pretend that we're getting some income. And if I had received that income, a market crash or no one else could take that money away from me, except for, shops and the government and pubs. Now I need to do something quite important. I must make some changes to the pie. This is something you can automatically do with updates and rebalancing. But I spoke earlier about how I didn't want to do that too much. However, importantly, I noticed that some of the stocks in the portfolio have changed. 2 companies have been removed. Stag Industrial and, most interestingly, Starbucks are now gone. And in their place we have Abbott Laboratories and CF Industries. So I need to take the first 2 out and replace them with these. That was a bit fiddly to do without rebalancing the portfolio, and now I have this annoying drop showing on my graph, which isn't actually accurate. It was just the £40 or so being exported out of my pie so I could sell the assets before putting the money back into the pie and investing it into the 2 new companies. If you want to know all about the changes, e.g. why Starbucks was removed, the creator of the pie documents them via email from the daily dividend experiment. So what happens next? Well, I'd love to know myself. Now we're at the end of 5 months into this challenge, I guess I should ask again. Would you want to see more updates in future? As I'm using my own money, it would be great to know if there's demand for further videos, but if there's not, I hope you found it educational as well as interesting. And if you didn't like it, that's totally fine. Thanks for watching.